Hello everyone, this is Harieth Velasco here, and I am here to talk about Hawkeye episode. Fuck, which episode are we in? 4. Okay, episode 4. So this episode is titled Partners, Am I Right? And I think it is supposed to mirror Kate Bishop's pronunciation, like partners, am I right? Like that with a little bit of sass on it. So I'm just gonna get into the details. It's not gonna be very long review, and I think I would like to touch something on the subject of Yelena Belova finally showing up in this series and what would be the future of Yelena in this series. Now, without any further delay, subscribe to the channel, leave a like. It will be very much appreciated. And let's get into the review. So, Hawkeye episode 4. It led to where we left off from episode 3 with the Jack standoff. Apparently, I thought this was spoiled by a Disney Plus trailer because they get to sat in a dinner table. So that relieves the tension. I swear the trailers from Disney and Marvel are really trying to spoil things, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's just me or that, but I think they tend to spoil too much. And I would like to get into that in one of my later videos over the weekend. So, dinner table, Eleanor being suspicious as usual, Jack being like the Borat kind of guy. That and this scene is highly reflecting the contrast of Clint Barton and Kate Bishop. Kate is being a simp to Hawkeye. Hawkeye is like the rejecting dude. He says, "We're not even friends. We're not even friends. We're..." And then Kate was just simping. It's all good for them, but in my opinion, I think it would be done a little bit better or a little bit on the worst side of things. Now, what else are to be put into light of this scenario? Well, we could say that one of this is going to be the budding friendship between Hawkeye and Kate, and two is like the payoff. There will be some denial because now instead of retrieving the Ronin suit, they will be retrieving a watch that was been auctioned. If you remember episode 1, other than the watch, apparently the other than the Ronin costume, the one that is also being auctioned is something that is connected to Hawkeye. What do you suppose? What are the chances of that? And the recurring trope here is Hawkeye can't be back for that one day that I can't mention because of my religion. Now, Hawkeye is hell bent on retrieving the watch. He has his wife speaking Russian for him, which is leading to the speculation that Laura Barton is Mockingbird, but I don't know. Does Agent of Shield still count in the MCU? You tell me. I mean, multiverse. Am I right? It's the greatest plot armor in the history of films. Multiverse. You can get away with mistakes because multiverse. We get to the point that Kate Bishop befriended the live action role players or the LARPers to retrieve Hawkeye's arrows. So it was here stated during their movie marathon, which is cute, that Hawkeye doesn't reload his arrows. He has to go back and pick them back up. And she used the LARPers to retrieve back the arrows. And then, furthermore conclusion, Hawkeye tries to investigate Maya and the rest by interrogating Kazi in a silly car interrogation scene. And this is where this is like the shield thing that Hawkeye is doing. So it's all fun and games now, but it's kind of serious in terms of the interrogation. Another thing to note is that later in the day, they are going to storm an apartment that was being that ticked by Hawkeye's wife because the watch apparently has a transceiver, and they gonna retrieve it from that apartment. It turns out that it is Maya's apartment. Kate is being reckless on the mission, not following orders from Hawkeye because she has too much independent thinking. And this led into a fatal four-way match between Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Echo, which it was found out that the apartment belongs to Maya Lopez, and Yelena Belova, who is in a Splinter Cell costume, throwback to the Thunderbolts, to her Thunderbolts costume in the comics. Like the fight scene, it seems that Eleanor. It seems that Echo and Yelena aren't on the same page. I think it was Eleanor that tipped up Yelena or Val or whoever she is calling in that earlier scene where Hawkeye is, and that's how Yelena got the location, because that's the only part in that episode where Hawkeye's location can be disclosed. She said that Hawkeye is near this area, I need your help, so that's where Yelena is being tipped off. We have no we have little references to Kingpin here, but I'm sticking to my guns. I think it's still not Kingpin. It may be just Hammerhead or something, or a new mob boss. I think Hammerhead makes more sense, and I'm sticking with my guns that Madame Mask is indeed Kate's mom. Yelena is sexy. Florence Pugh, I'd simp for her, so like that. She's like a brasher, more bruiser type of a Black Widow than Natasha, and I kinda like it. There's a callback scene to Endgame where Kate is suspended by a tightrope after being pushed by Yelena, and Hawkeye tries to grab Kate, and then PTSD happens all over again, so that's nice. It doesn't help that Kate actually falls, but at least it was a soft landing. And yeah, and this is where Hawkeye drew the line that Kate shouldn't hang out with him anymore because there's a Black Widow assassin now involved in all of this fiasco that all started with an auction of Kate in the auction where Kate snuck into. What I think of this episode, I think the Yelena Belova reveal, people say it's underwhelming, but I think it's alright. It's more of a teaser of what things to come. Maybe in episode 5, they tease that it will blow the internet, so maybe we'll see Kingpin or Madame Mask or whoever is Ronin, because there are theories that the Ronin in the past isn't Hawkeye, it was just a frame up. And there are suggestions that it was Jack because of his brandishing of the sword. I'm still inclined that Jack is the one who killed Armand, so you can put that in the bank. So, is this the best episode of the series so far? Yes. So I gave it like what? An 8? I think 8 is generous. I'm a generous person today. 8 out of 10, Hawkeye episode 4. I love you, Elena. End the video.